Hello, my name is Moriah Chariz Cabadin, and I've been with the college coaching program for almost 2 years now. With the help of Mrs. Ting and my college coach, Miss Diane, I've been able to feel more confident as I prepare for college. They provided me guidance throughout the process of applying for colleges and truly express a genuine interest in making sure I can obtain the future I've been hoping for. Of the schools I've applied to, I've been accepted to 5 so far, 2 of which are my top choice schools that I hope to attend as I pursue a career in nursing. I've been accepted to Augusta University, Kennesaw State University, Georgia State University, Mercer University, and the University of Alabama at Birmingham. I'm still waiting for a final decision from Emory University. At both KSU and GSU, I've been accepted to their honors colleges. At Mercer University, I've been offered an academic merit scholarship. And at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, I've been accepted as a Dean Scholar in pre-nursing. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As Ms. Ting introduced, I'm Moriah Chariz Cabadin. I recently graduated from Alliance Academy for Innovation, where I completed both the Emergency Medical Responder and Health IT pathways for their School of Healthcare. And this upcoming fall, I'll be attending Mercer University with an academic merit scholarship to further my education and pursue a career in nursing. So it's really nice to meet you all, and welcome to my college journey, or to my journey to college. Okay, so to go over my journey to college, I kind of wanted to go through each year of my high school career and pretty much talk about what I did and how it went for me. So starting off with freshman year. So freshman year, it's the very beginning. During my first year of high school, I went to Forsyth Central High School, and I feel like I was just an ordinary high school student. For my coursework, I took honors biology, AP human geography, which was the only AP course that my school offered to freshmen, honors literature, French, accelerated algebra 1 and geometry A, orchestra, and then the mandatory personal fitness and health class. So it was a pretty typical course load for students who wanted some more rigor in their first year of high school. And my schedule was pretty balanced, and to me, it was a lot more relaxed than I expected, because my middle school teachers would give us a heavy workload to prepare us for high school. So going into high school, I did feel very prepared and like I could handle what was ahead of me. But other than my academics, I was also involved in my school's Euro Club. That was really fun because French, Spanish, and German students, anyone was able to join, but we were able to learn about all the different cultures and also do some community service. I was also involved in the Humane Society Club and HOSA Future Health Professionals chapter at Forsyth Central. I was also part of the Winter Guard team, which was one of the highlights of my freshman year. In Winter Guard, I got to work with a team of strong individuals who came together with passion and excitement to learn and strengthen our skills for performance and competition. I'd always loved dancing since I was little, and Winter Guard gave me the opportunity to go back to that, and I was really grateful for all of those memories. But other than that, I can't really seem to remember too much about my freshman year. I mostly remember the memories I made with my friends, small moments from class, Winter Guard practice, and competitions. The most memorable bit that I do remember and probably won't ever forget is when my family and I made the decision for me to go to a new school the following year, my sophomore year. So for me, moving schools was a very hard decision to make and come to an agreement with, because it was really my family that pushed me to go to this school. In this case, moving was more of a voluntary choice because Alliance accepts students all throughout the school district, and they hold an application process to establish their set of students for each incoming school year. But compared to the school that I was attending at the time, Alliance was a lot different from all of the other high schools. First of all, Alliance didn't have any fine arts, nor did they have sports. So that was a really big change, especially since I was very interested in fine arts like orchestra, theater, band, and I still really liked Winter Guard and wanted to continue that. Alliance was strictly career pathway focused, so of course coming came with a bit of sacrifice. And the biggest sacrifice for me was having to let go of most of my friends who stayed at Central while I went off to a brand new school. They were the hardest factor in my decision, but I'm really glad they supported me in the end, even if we're not as close as we used to be. So on to sophomore year. At a brand new school where my class, the class of 2021, would be the very first to graduate. There were so many new faces there that it made sure that you knew that you weren't alone. And I remember that throughout my first few days of school, I got a lot of hope from the teachers because it was really evident that they cared about us and wanted us to succeed, especially in this brand new environment that we would contribute to. So since Alliance was fresh and brand new at the time, they didn't have as wide of a course selection as other high schools in Forsyth County. During my sophomore year, I took honors chemistry, AP World History, honors lit, Spanish 2, accelerated geometry B and algebra 2, intro to healthcare, and intro to graphic design. I really looked forward to my healthcare course, especially since that was the driving reason why I chose to attend Alliance, their healthcare pathway. So while we're kind of on the topic of my healthcare classes, I wanted to tell you guys about my healthcare teachers at Alliance because they definitely played a big role in helping me get to where I am today. Both of them had extensive experience as first responders, whether it was as a firefighter, emergency medical technician, or paramedic. They applied their experiences to help you with your understanding of the coursework and also the seriousness that is the healthcare industry. Because when you're in healthcare, you strive to save lives, and that's exactly what they did when they actively practiced. And now they chose to educate future generations, which I'm really grateful for because their experiences have been very eye-opening for all of my classmates and I. So I had Mrs. Janice Kochevar all 3 years at Alliance for my healthcare classes. I had her for Intro to Healthcare, Essentials of Healthcare, Essentials of Health Informatics, and my Emergency Medical Responder course. In all of my courses leading to EMR, she really helped my peers and I prepare to become nationally certified emergency medical responders. That was a really scary process leading up to it because I was worried about taking the exam, but luckily it passed. So I can say that I'm a nationally certified emergency medical responder. So that's very cool. But throughout those 3 years, her passion for what she did never went away. Her passion really fueled her and showed us that she was genuinely interested in helping us better ourselves. She always saw our potential and pushed us to do better, which we all recognized and really loved about her. But I still think that she's pretty intimidating. I'm really grateful that I was able to have her as a mentor and that we were able to build a strong student-teacher relationship. And that's a very important aspect to consider as you go through high school, because your teachers and your mentors play a crucial role in your college application process when you need letters of recommendation. Because when it comes to that time, even though we're still in sophomore year and senior year is a bit further in the timeline, when it comes to that time, you have to determine who you have a good relationship with that can attest your character and your capabilities. So even if it's a course where your grade may not be as strong, if you were a responsible student who worked hard and persisted throughout the year to better understand the material, I assure you that your teacher would probably be more than willing to write you a letter of recommendation. And because letters of recommendation are not dependent on your grades and academic performance, it's really just about who you are, your character and your work ethic, how you interact with your peers, how you treat everyone else. And this, Even though I'm focusing on college applications, this doesn't just apply to the college application process because it can also help you out with officer applications and other clubs and organizations during high school that may require letters of recommendation. Anyway, like the course selection, there also weren't very many clubs and organizations yet during this first year at Alliance Academy for Innovation. There were mostly career and technical student organizations, or CTSOs for short. During my sophomore year, I joined Alliance's HOSA, Future Healthcare Professionals chapter, and I also tried out Skills USA, which was suggested to me as a graphic design student, but I didn't continue after my sophomore year, since I wanted to put a bigger focus on HOSA. But being a part of HOSA at Alliance really helped shape my high school experience. It opened the doors to a community of youth and mentors who sought to better the field of medicine. Alliance's HOSA chapter gave its members the opportunity to attend guest speaker events, volunteer, and be active in serving the community and compete at a state and possibly even an international level. Along with my involvement in the CTSOs, I was privileged to serve as our Beta Club chapter as the secretary, both my sophomore and my junior year. I worked with the leadership team to establish this new chapter at Alliance, so we organized meetings each month and opportunities to serve the community through volunteering at a local food bank, or even our school's own tutoring service for our peers. As a secretary, I was personally responsible for keeping records of our meeting discussions and recording each individual member's service hours to submit to the official National Beta Club portal at the end of the school year. Since my sophomore year, I've been able to witness the growth of our Beta Club chapter as I continued my membership and service with them my junior and senior year. So I remember my sophomore year as the year I stepped out of my comfort zone to make new friends, build relationships, and pave the path I wanted to pursue. I also started touring colleges the spring break of my sophomore year. So going into junior year, touring a few universities gave me an idea of where I want to go, what colleges expect from you, and how they always say that they take college applications in a holistic view. So they look at your academics, they look at your extracurriculars, and also who you are, which is from the letters of recommendation. Touring also gave me an idea of what I want to study, and most importantly, how much it costs to study there. So now we move on to the infamous junior year, which is often referred to by many as the hardest year of high school. And, I will not hesitate to agree with everyone who has made that statement, because I think it was definitely my most challenging year of high school. So during my junior year, I took AP Chemistry, AP Physics 1, US History, AP American Literature, Language, and Composition, Accelerated Pre-Calculus, Essentials of Health IT, and Essentials of Healthcare, which covered human anatomy and physiology. Junior year was very challenging for me because of my coursework. I always strive to take challenging courses, but AP Physics 1 kind of felt like it was pushing me off the edge, and I think my parents could see that too. My schedule was definitely considered more balanced than some of my peers who would try to take all AP courses, but for me, the combination of AP Physics, AP Chemistry, and Pre-Calculus, my math was never really my strong suit. Those accounted for many late nights and early mornings of studying and review. Despite that, I kept working hard by going to my teacher for help before class and asking for help when I couldn't understand the concepts. I never gave up, no matter how much I may have wanted to, and I would often go to my college coach, who was Miss Diane at the time, for guidance. So I started college coaching, I think it was the summer before my junior year. My mom had just entered WSB, and she also began participating in the college coaching program. Since my goal at the time was to go to Emory, I decided to give the college coaching program a try. I really valued the guidance I was able to receive from Miss Diane, And since I was already a proactive student, I had already been working on the tasks and recommendations that the program gives you at the beginning of each month. So Miss Diane helped give me insight throughout the whole process of preparing and applying for colleges, and she was always really fun to chat with, especially since she was in an entirely different state. We would talk about the weather sometimes, or just update each other about how our own lives were going. Other than that, there wasn't too much about my junior year. Of course, there was the SAT test prep that I had been consistently doing. I mostly used Khan Academy because that's a free resource for you to use. And you can set a goal for yourself with how much time you want to practice. So that was my main source for SAT prep. Of course, the pandemic occurred in the middle of my junior year in the second semester. So as you all already know, everyone pretty much moved online and we continued instruction there. I'm also someone who likes to know what's ahead of me, so I did a lot of planning about my senior year during my junior year. And I began to panic because I realized that my plans for senior year may not go as I had hoped. But luckily, it all went well because I graduated and I was accepted to college. So, senior year, or the beginning of an end. Now, when I think about the college application process, I think that if I could go back, I would have given myself more time to go through that process. Because the summer before my senior year, I took both American government and the principles of macroeconomics online through dual enrollment, which was a big time commitment. And I took a lot of thought before I decided to take these classes online, because taking these courses over the summer allowed me to knock out 2 graduation requirements and earn college credit because they were taken through dual enrollment. So I not only got graduation requirements knocked out and college credit from those 2 courses, they also made it possible for me to have 2 internship periods as I had planned out since my junior year. So during my senior year, I was able to intern at a local corrective chiropractic care facility where I was a part of the team at the practice. However, I suggest you don't ask me to adjust your neck or your back because I worked closely with the secretary of the practice at the front desk, so in health administration, rather than treating the patients with their adjustments and exercises. As I interned, I was able to build relationships with the patients and also observe and recognize how important it is to have meaningful and trusting relationships with the people you are treating, which is something that I really look forward to doing in the future as a healthcare professional. As an intern, I had to make lots of phone calls with insurance companies, and believe it or not, chiropractic care does not get much coverage by health insurance, which I eventually found pretty disappointing because the spine plays a very big role in your health and vitality. Something I really admired was how the doctors at the practice worked really hard to assure the patients and their families that their health was a worthy investment and that they would see real change in their spinal and overall health. I was very lucky to be able to witness various individuals become transformed through their journey to wellness at the chiropractic specialty that I interned at. Along with my internship, I also continued being heavily involved in HOSA, which was a bit harder to be involved in during my senior year because many of the events occurred while I was at my internship. But luckily, I was still able to volunteer at some events and compete at the Georgia HOSA 2021 State Leadership Conference, where my team was able to place first in the Community Awareness competitive event. Since 2020, I had been wanting to launch a campaign to gain awareness for Aicardi-Goutieres syndrome, a rare genetic disease that affected one of my family's close friends. With the help of one of my friends at school, we were able to co-found the AGS Awareness Organization to spread awareness by educating others and raising funds for research to go toward this rare disease. So even though my senior year may not have been exactly what I expected and wanted, I was still very grateful for the technology and the opportunity to continue my studies in the midst of a pandemic and have the support that I had from Ms. Ting, my parents, my teachers, and my peers. So as you can see, here's an overview of my coursework from beginning to end. There's my coursework during 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And then when it came to my senior year, I completely transitioned to dual enrollment courses. Despite the rigor of AP courses that I appreciated because they challenged me, I wanted a more accurate experience of what a college course would be like. Since you're actually a student in a college class through dual enrollment, I wanted to experience that setting. And taking dual enrollment courses was also a better option for me financially because in the county that I live in, we have to pay for our AP exams, which are each around $100. And if you take a bunch of AP courses, that definitely adds up. Dual enrollment, on the other hand, is covered by the government, and those credits also have the same weight as AP courses when being transferred as a college student. So I recently went through the process at Mercer of transferring my credits, so I sent them my transcript from my dual enrollment courses, and those were credited, and they knock out several requirements that I need as a pre-nursing student. So upon my graduation, I took 5 AP courses, 7 honors courses, 7 dual enrollment courses, and I also graduated with 3 certifications as a basic life support provider, a certified telehealth coordinator, which I earned through the completion of the health IT pathway at my school, and the emergency medical responder, which I got from the emergency medical responder pathway at my school. Upon graduating, I was accepted to Mercer, the University of Alabama at Birmingham, Kennesaw State University, Georgia State University, and Augusta. Now, kind of wrapping up, I'm really content with how my high school years went. It was a bit difficult getting myself to sit down and figure out what I wanted to say or how to plan this presentation because I'm not the most comfortable with sharing my experience because I feel like I haven't accomplished that much when looking back. There was a lot that I did, and I need to give myself more credit for all of my accomplishments. But whenever I look back, something I wished I always had more of, and this applies to elementary school, middle school, and high school, something I wish I always had more of was confidence. And I definitely built up my confidence throughout the years. But when I look back, sometimes it makes me sad because I feel like if I was more confident, maybe I would have taken a lot more chances for maybe some leadership positions or other opportunities that were given to me. But confidence is something that I'm definitely going to continue working on, and I'm really glad that I was able to build. So to me, my high school years were a testimony of persistence. From freshman year to senior year, high school was just a giant journey of persistence, and I really had to keep going even when times were difficult, even when things weren't going as I had hoped and planned. But high school was a testimony of persistence, and I really can't wait to see what college has in store. So that was everything. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
Wow. All right. Let's give it up one more time for Moriah. I love that word, persistent. You know, in life, when you're persistent, consistent, you always will be ahead. You know, I love the tortoise and the rabbit story, right? Even rabbit looks like faster in the beginning, but tortoise always win in the end, you know? So, but you're persistent. I definitely see that too. You know, every single month I see how you interact with the coaches. You know, you really make sure whatever the assignment, and then also with whatever you're doing with the school, you know, you make sure you actually inform and communicate it. And then, man, you know, honestly, I hate to tell you that, Moriah, I know you feel like you did not accomplish anything, but I feel like you inspire me. Don't you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, she does.
Yes. All right.